Good morning students, this is Sheba. Now we are going to discuss about the electronic devices unit 2 bipolar junction transistors. In our previous session we have discussed about what is meant by this transistor, what is mean by the types of transistors like NPN and PNP and its operation of working. Now we are going to see about another important topic, the early effect, early voltage. What is meant by this early effect? When bias voltage change, the depletion width changes and the effective base width will be a function of this bias voltages. Most of the effect comes from the collector to base junction, since the bias on the collector is usually larger than that of the emitter to base junction. And so this early effect occurs large in our BJT, bipolar junction transistor. It is nothing but a variation in the effective width of the base in bipolar junction transistor due to the variation in the applied base to collector voltage. Yes, effective width variation with respect to applied base to collector voltage. So this is the early effect. You can see clearly here, base width gets smaller as applied voltage gets larger. Yes, both are inversely proportional. The base width becomes narrow as the voltage gets increased, and it elongates when we reduce the voltage. Here is the graphical representation of this early effect. It ranges from minus 100 volt to 200 volt. How its variation goes on. You can see here how it acts in the saturation region and in active region. It converges at single point called early voltage, and larger the early voltage means absence of base width modulation. Yes, when we increase the voltage to the maximum, the width becomes totally absent. That is, totally it becomes very narrow, and this condition is said to be the absence of base width modulation. This is the graphical representation, and you can see clearly the green line is the ideal line of IC and orange is the actual IC value. So from this you can find the actual IC value by using the collector current IC, collector to emitter voltage. So by using these values of IC dash is equal to IC divided into VCE by VA plus 1. By using this actual values, and you can find the actual value by using this ideal IC value. And you can also see the problem here, that is example problem given the common emitter circuit with IB is equal to 25 microamps, VCC is equal to 15 volt, beta is equal to 100 and VA is equal to 80. So they have asked to find the collector current and the actual collector current. They have asked to find IC and IC dash. So first you have to find the value of IC. We know the relation beta is equal to IC by IB. So from that we are finding the value of IC, since beta is given in the problem. After finding IC, now we know the value of IC, VCE and VA. So I can substitute it directly and I can find the value of IC dash. So moving to the topic breakdown voltage, the maximum voltage that the BJT can withstand is said to be breakdown voltage. The breakdown voltage for a common emitter bias circuit usually ranges from 20 to 1000 volts. The breakdown voltage for a common base bias circuit has a minimum value of 60 volt. Breakdown voltage is determined by the base width, material being used, doping levels and biasing voltage. Moving to another major concept, DC analysis of BJT. Yes, here DC analysis, that is load line analysis, is done by using the basic circuit taken here. Basically, voltage divider biasing is widely used for analysis. Input resistance, as you can see in this circuit diagram taken, Rin is equal to beta DC into Re. Emitter resistance, the base voltage is approximately VB is equal to VCC R2 divided by R1 plus R2. And the DC analysis of BJT for current, transistor currents regarding IE is equal to IC plus IB, which we have seen in the previous topic. Emitter current is equal to collector current plus base current, and alpha DC Regarding DC load line, alpha value ranges from IC is equal to alpha DC into IE, and beta value beta DC IC is equal to beta DC into IB, where beta DC typically has a value between 20 and 200. Corresponding to DC voltages for the biased transistor, collector voltage VC is equal to VCC minus IC into RC. Base voltage VB is equal to emitter voltage plus base emitted voltage VBE. For silicon transistors, VBE is equal to 0.7 volt. It is fixed one. And for germanium, VBE is equal to 0.3 volt, which is also a fixed one. So based on the semiconductor material you are using for your transistor, you can substitute the value of VB directly. Moving to the relationship between the DC currents and gain. We know IE is equal to IB plus IC and alpha is equal to IC plus IE. So by using this, I can rewrite the equation is equal to beta divided by 1 plus beta. Alpha is equal to. And beta is equal to alpha by 1 minus alpha. This is the relation between alpha and beta. This is very important question since it is frequently asked in 2 marks also. To derive the relation between DC current and gain. From this we can deduce IB is equal to IC by beta, which is equal to IE divided by 1 plus beta. So I can rewrite again IE is 1 by 1 plus beta is equal to 1 minus alpha, and so I rewrite IB is equal to IE into 1 minus alpha. Similarly, IC is equal to, again I rewrite beta into IB, this is equal to alpha into IE. Now I know the value of IC. So IE is equal to IC by alpha. Again I am substituting the value here in terms of beta, IB into 1 plus beta. So this is the one of the important question, relationship between DC current and gain. Moving to the Q point. Yes, what is this Q point? It is the point at which the base current curve intersects the DC load line is. And so this is said to be Q-cent or Q point for the circuit. What is this DC load line? The DC load line is nothing but it is the load line of the DC equivalent circuit defined by reducing the reactive components to zero, that is replacing capacitors by open circuit and inductors by short circuits. It is used to determine the correct DC operating point, often called the Q point. The base current IB here is established by the base bias. You can see in this diagram graphical representation of Q point IE versus VCE. Yes, in DC load line, that straight line drawn here is the DC load line. It is drawn by using the active regions, saturation region points achieved as the output of transistor. So from that DC load line, I have taken the Q point at the middle area, which intersects, that intersecting point of IC and VCE. I take it as a Q point. So this is about the early effect and the Q point DC analysis of BJT topics which we have discussed. And moving to the advantages and disadvantages of BJT. In major, BJT has larger gain bandwidth, which shows better performance at high frequency and has a better voltage gain. It can be operated in low or high power applications, and so it is applied in many real-time applications like switches, amplifiers, which we use a large amount in communication applications. The BJT has high current density. There is a low forward voltage drop. Moving to the disadvantages, it produces more noise. This BJT are more affected by radiation and it has a low thermal stability. The switching frequency of BJT is also very low. These are all some of the disadvantages you can see in BJT. Moving to the application part. Yes, applications. BJT is major applied as a switch and as amplifier. So when used as an electronic switch, the transistor is normally operated alternatively in cutoff and saturated region. And also as an amplifier, it amplifies the signal to the maximum and it produces the signal with a better gain. Due to small changes in base current, the collector current will mimic the input with greater amplitude, and this is the major advantage of using our transistor as an amplifier. So what's new in transistor technology? Yes. Let us learn something outside of the syllabus and outside of the world. What is this transistor new technology recently now? 3D transistors have also developed now, which made using tri-gate transistors on its 22 nanometer logic technology. What is the advantage of this tri-gate transistor means? More than 50% power reduction at constant performance. 37% performance increases at low voltage, very minimum voltage, and improved performance and efficiency. These 3D transistors are also now started applying in many type of real-time applications. Moving to the important questions from this topic of discussion. Part A, 2 marks. What is early effect? Yes, we have seen early effect and early voltage. You have to explain that clearly. And when does a transistor act as a switch? Now only we have discussed how it acts as a switch and what is the possible condition for it to act as a switch. Third one, what is breakdown voltage? Yes, which point is said to be breakdown voltage? You can take a graph and you can explain along with the graphical example also. It will increase your mark for presentation. And fourth question, give the relation between alpha and beta. As I have mentioned, you need to know the relationship between the current as well as the gain value, and also alpha and beta. For 2 mark as well as 4 mark also they can ask. Next, fifth one, define Q point. Yes, Q point means what? What is DC load line? You have to write both the points. Not only Q point, you have also need to relate the DC load line. Then only you can write what is Q point means clearly. Moving to the part B, 8 marks. Explain the concept of early effect with necessity diagram. Yes, in talking about early effect, first you need to draw its circuit. First you need to explain along with the circuit, and you need to draw its output as a graphical representation, and you can give your justification of result why it is said to be early effect with the help of that graphical representation. Second question, derive the expression for DC analysis of BJT and explain its concept along with Q point. So you have to write DC analysis also, you have to write Q point concept also, you have to write DC load line analysis, and also you have to write the relation between current equation and gain. So here I have mentioned the important links for reference. Website link as well as the book reference as suggested in the previous class. Electronic Devices UA Bakshi and AP Godse, page number 211 to 2-15 corresponds to this topic of discussion. So moving to the applications, as I have mentioned now, switch and amplifier is one of the major application of transistor. Yes, in real time we never stop using the switch or amplifiers. For communication of large scale purposes, if you take, we need to use this switches as well as the amplifiers. Amplification is one of the major part in communication. While transmitting in long scale long distance communication and all, we need amplification for our signal to travel to a longer distance. Yes, this is the major real-time application of our transistor too. So regarding this topic, if you have any doubts in this, you can ask me and get the details. Thank you.